Welcome to another episode of the Curtis Zone, and happy 4th of July to everyone. I hope that you got your fill of ribs, hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever you eat on 4th of July, because I sure as hell did, which is why I did not post a video yesterday. But I will be posting one today. Today we are talking about my top 10 fan favorite and of course my personal favorite limited animes. By limited animes, I mean the animes that only lasted one season and 50 or 54 episodes, 50-something episodes. So we're going to talk about them here today because I am very excited, because this is actually these are actually some animes that I personally love. Okay, not just me, but a lot of other people as well, which is why they're called fan favorites. Let's get started. Okay, but before we get started, some news, everyone. News. First, a bit of news for the upcoming Street Fighter. It has been announced that David Dastmalchian, who you may remember as Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad, has been casted as M. Bison for the upcoming Street Fighter film. How he's gonna portray the character is still not being reported. Neither is story or anything of that nature. But it's looking like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Also being cast for the Street Fighter film is WWE superstar Cody Rhodes. He's going to be playing the role of Colonel Guile. So, in the last Street Fighter film and in the animated projects, Colonel Guile was the main character. And a lot of people are saying that wrestlers can't do what these guys in Street Fighter do because they're all martial artists. But I say differently. But hey, that's just me talking. Let's move on, shall we? The next piece of news from the world of the MCU, it has been announced that Desmond Idris, who is being eyed for the role of Black Panther for a new series in the MCU. However, what he's plans to do with the character, if Marvel even wants him, that is still to be announced. I am not 100% sure. The final piece of news is this: it has been announced that Bruce Timm and Kevin Feige are currently in talks to make an animated and comic book version of a Marvel vs. DC comic book and animated project or video game. Nothing is set in stone, because this is a very big decision for not just for Bruce Timm and Kevin Feige, but for also for Warner Brothers and Disney itself, because a crossover between two different comic books is actually going to be very hard to put together, especially with story and character roster. It's very hard to put together. Now let's have some fun and talk about these limited animes. I'm a personal fan of all these limited animes, and these are the animes that have been voted the best by a lot of people, including you guys who are currently watching this episode. Let's get started. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more, and of course, if you want to see more of my bouncing packs, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started by talking about number 10.
I must be crazy, hallucinated. I'm living, breathing. My sweat is on the floor, can't believe it.
Kicking things off and coming in strong at number 10, it is the Ronin Warriors. The Ronin Warriors follows the story of 5 fantastic battle-armored samurai who are working together to fight the evil forces of the dynasty and to fight their leader Tulpa. The series only lasted 50 episodes, and it follows an amazing story with amazing weapons and powers. I personally loved it because I got into the theme song. It was one of those early animes that started in the late 70s in Japan, but didn't come over to the US until the 90s. I watched it every Saturday night with my brothers, and I loved every second of it.
I'm only human, so much power. I had to be destroyed.
Coming in number 9 on this list is IGPX. The series follows the story in the year 2049, when the world's most popular motorsport is the IGPX, the Immortal Grand Prix. However, this is different from anything that you've seen before, because instead of racing cars, they race giant mech suits. These mech suits move so fast and are pretty much invincible. And for Takashi and Team Satomi, this is nothing less than war. Takashi could be the greatest in the world if it weren't for the fact that he was a teenager. The series first premiered on Toonami on November 5th, and it lasted 2 seasons, totaling in 49 episodes. I loved it. You will love it. I recommend that you watch it.
Don't try to change the world all on your own. Repair what's in your heart. Know thyself.
Number 8 on this list is Mars Daybreak. In the future, humanity has moved to the stars, into the oceans of Mars, and because food and work are both scarce and coveted, there are very few people who can survive. And so, there are a few brave souls who fight against an army of pirates who terrorize the oceans. The series lasted a short time, but it was one of my favorites ever, and I hope that everyone enjoyed watching it too, because the series featured everything. It had action, suspense, a little light humor. It had everything, my friends. At number 7 on this list, it is Samurai 7. This Samurai 7 follows the story of 7 samurai who have come together to protect a small village from the destruction of an evil Nobuseri. I did an episode on Samurai 7, which you can find right up here somewhere. I don't know which side. Anyway, the Samurai 7 had everything because it was originally based off of 7 Samurai, a Japanese movie in Japan, which was loosely based off of The Magnificent Seven. The series had everything. It had action, it had suspense, it had giant robots, it had everything that you would expect for a Japanese anime to have to be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that everyone enjoyed watching it too, because it was the most fun series I've ever had the fortune and pleasure of seeing. At number 6, it is Dot Hack Sign. Dot Hack Sign follows the story of a group of people who are avatars in a video game called Dot Hack, and they have to play through the game while at the same time getting to know each other. The game featured everything. It had a swordsman, it had a wizard, it had a warrior, a hunter. It was basically World of Warcraft Japanese anime style. Who could not love that? If anybody did not love that, they are wrong and stupid. I thought it was pretty cool, because I honestly got into it. It was one of the many animes that I got into because I loved the theme song. I mean, who could forget that theme song? Top 5 on this list, I gotta give it to Tenkai Knights. It follows the story of 4 young men who go into another world known as Tenkai and have become the Tenkai Knights. The Tenkai Knights are a group of warriors who fought and defeated an enemy known as Vilius. And in doing so, they freed Tenkai from his corruption. So, the series didn't last long, but I loved every second of it, and I did an episode on which you could find up here. I think so. Anyway, the series was fun. It was action-packed. It had everything, and a lot of people loved it, including myself, because I got a lot of likes from that episode. Coming in at number 4 on this list, it is Rave Master. Rave Master follows the story of a young man who is now the new Rave Master, and the Rave Master has to find all the Rave Stones to stop the darkness forever. The series was fun and exciting, and it featured a guy with a giant sword that he can turn into different types of swords. It reminded me a little bit of Kingdom Hearts, but then again, that's just me talking. I personally liked it because of that giant sword. I mean, who didn't like it because of the giant sword? The series had everything in it, including a drill-nosed dog. I mean, who didn't enjoy looking at that drill-nosed dog? The series only lasted one season. That one season gave us 52 episodes. But it was fun, exciting, a little bit of slapstick humor. Who didn't enjoy it? If you didn't enjoy it, you're wrong. At number 3 on this list, it is Spider Riders. Within the planet Earth, there exists a fantastic lost world. Within this inner world, if you will, there are elite warriors who ride huge spiders and bravely fight against an evil force known as the Invectids. The Invectids, who are destined to not only take over their world, but within the inner world, but also the outer world as well. The series was fun, exciting, and I personally, I only got into it because I liked the theme song, which was originally written and composed by Linkin Park. I said written and composed, not performed. Coming in and runner-up on this list is Elemental Gelade. The series follows the story of a young man going by the name of Ku, who is a renegade sky pirate who finds a treasure. This isn't any ordinary treasure, though it is a young girl going by the name of Ren. Ren, who combines herself with Ku to form a weapon, a giant sword on his arm. The series follow the two of them as they travel to the Eldo Garden. in a different planet. The series was fun, it was exciting, and it was a little bit of a love story too. I loved it. You will love it, my friends. Watch it. My number one favorite limited anime on this list, it is none other than Knights of the Zodiac. It was a limited anime because it only lasted one season, and the season wasn't even a full season here in the US. This series followed the story of a young man going by the name of Saint Seiya, who finds a mystical battle armor which amplifies his natural ability known as Cosmo. And he then enters a tournament to battle other knights and help protect a young girl who is now the reincarnated version of the goddess Athena, goddess of wisdom and battle strategy. This series was fun, and it featured the theme song that was created by Bowling for Soup, which was originally done by Flock of Seagulls. I hope that you guys loved it too, as much as I did. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Curtis Zone. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. And I hope that you had a very happy 4th of July, as well as I did for all my friends here in the US. This is going to be an amazing 4th of July, my friends. And I hope that you guys remember to hit that likes button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell down there for more content from here on the Curtis Zone. If you want to see more of me, my smiling face, and of course more of my bouncing pecs, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you tune in next episode when we get started, because we are starting on our Superman Legacy episodes, leading up to the release of the DVD. However, I was going to do it leading up to the release of the film, but I got sidetracked, and I'm sorry about that. I hope to see you guys soon. Peace.